For those of you just tuning in, I'm Tobias Moriarty, and this is Dan's podcast. Here we go.
We don't know what to call it yet, but it's coming up with a name.
It's my birthday. It's going to be something started around that. Or Timbits.
So yes, anyways, welcome to the first episode. My name is Dan Stanfield. This is Tobias Moriarty. And
You pronounced that pretty okay.
Pretty okay.
Pretty okay.
So, we've got a great episode for you tonight, and I love this guy. This guy, I've worked with him. I've been a fangirl of his work, and I guess that's kind of how the whole friend thing started up. But we're going to be talking about his glass blowing, and I guess education. Who the fuck cares what
Lack
we talk
thereof.
about?
Yep. I always want to point that out. It's all right.
All right. Anyways, so we don't have to do any commercials because this is our first episode.
But we are enjoying some Timbits, assorted Timbits, and Jameson's whiskey.
Yes.
Yeah, so if either of you want to sponsor us, you can reach me at 905-616-8554. All right? My phone is always on.
I'm glad all of our listeners got your phone number. Anyway.
That's right, ladies. That's a real number.
So anyways, I do want to talk to you about how this glass blowing career came about. I mean, right now we're drinking out of your very own whiskey glasses that you've made.
Brand new.
Yeah.
Brand new.
And I really want to I want to get to this, but I also want to see where it started. I know your mom and dad. They're pretty awesome. They're pretty cool people. Did they let
He means
you
that
do
in a
whatever?
non-creepy way, everybody. All right.
Did they let you do whatever you wanted to when you were a kid?
Well, no. I wanted to do a lot of stupid things. So, thankfully, no. But they really were supportive about getting into first pottery and then later on glass blowing with a lot of stupid mistakes in between, possibly. Yeah. We'll go into detail later on, I guess. But yeah, they're very supportive. They're great people. They were supportive of you too, and of other people.
Yes, they've been very supportive of me. The Moriarty family has always been good to me, and I don't see them ever stopping. But
Never stop.
did you just watch a TV show one day and was like, wow, glass blowing? Or
I don't remember how I found out about glass blowing. I was already doing pottery when I decided to try it out. And I went to a school that I could do a semester of pottery and then a semester of glass blowing. And then I really had fun glass blowing. It's really challenging, really different.
And this is a guy that I've been able to film doing his thing too. And I don't even know what he was actually doing. At one point, you're using this glass blowing stick as a baton almost. You're flipping it upside down. You're whatever, taking it for a rodeo. And all of a sudden I ask you, I'm like, is that just flair?
Yeah, I kind of remember that moment. Yeah, it was not just flair. But yeah, just kind of twirl it around sometimes, make things stretch long or do whatever. A lot of it's kind of just manipulating timing and gravity and the way that you move with the material. It's a lot of people talk about it like it's like dancing or something. It's all very timed and coordinated. So things look simpler from the outside than they really are to learn and plan and put together. So, that's kind of the thing it is.
Also, there's so many physics. Hey, I've seen what you can do. If I went in there right now and tried, even if you were teaching me, I don't think I could do it. I literally, obviously, I would have nowhere to start.
It's okay. I'd hold your hand. I teach people all the time, and I literally stand over them and hold their hand while they make class. It's how we started off.
So you do teach people. So tell me about that. Where are you teaching them, and what kind of classes are they?
It's all out of the Living Arts Center where I have my residency as an artist. So I'm also contract privately with them to teach their courses. Usually like on weekends and weeknights. So right now I'm teaching a lot. I teach every Saturday an advanced glass workshop. I teach every Monday night and Wednesday night Glassblowing 101, which is like total beginners who've never done it before. And then on Family Day coming up, I'm going to do a kids workshop. I'm going to press kids' hands into sand and pour glass into it and make like these glass pucks with a handprint in them. So we do that every Family Day. So that's always a fun one.
Well, that's a good one. So when is Family Day? I don't even know. Like, when the hell is that? Do you know?
That's on Monday.
This Monday?
Today's Tuesday. It's on the next Monday. Not yesterday.
Well, you heard it here first. Family Day is coming up Monday.
Yeah, that's right.
Make sure you go out with your kids. Make sure you do your thing. Whatever.
Unless you don't have any, like me and Dan.
Yeah, we don't.
You're
have
still
kids.
cool.
Yeah.
You have a life. You haven't ruined it yet. Keep it up. Get smashed. Live it up.
I get to live vicariously.
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 Like
thank
the
you.
song.
Vicariously through my buddy's friends all the time.
You can't watch me do this, but you can hear me get further away.
Give me some too.
I'll bring it to us.
Okay. So, anyways, he's getting some whiskey, but I get to hang out with all my friends' kids. I currently live in my friend's house in his basement apartment. And that's where we are recording right now, and I get to hang out with their kids all the time. I like kids, but
it's not that creepy. He made it sound like it, but really,
I don't think that sounded creepy at all.
I think back up here.
I think that I'd be a great father. Do I want to be a father right now? Fuck that shit.
I prefer to go by Unky Toby. That's what my friends' kids call me. It's great. I just bring them presents, and they love me, and I don't have to change diapers or pay for them in any way. I just get the good parts. It's great.
That sounded creepier than anything I've ever heard.
What?
I
give my nieces and nephews presents, and they all think I'm amazing. It's all there is to being a good uncle.
And you get all the good parts. Okay.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
you're the one making this creepy, all right? Me.
So, anyways,
good
back
parts
to
of
our
not changing diapers. We'll point that.
Original point of this podcast was to talk about Toby's ass blowing experience.
Yeah, blowing ass and smoking grass. That's my slogan. We really wanted to get that joke in there. He literally made me write it down earlier today.
I did.
Yeah.
I did do that.
Among others.
The great thing about Toby is I've been able to work with him, and I've been able to help sell his glass pieces. So he's been a great part of a couple of festivals. And what festivals are they?
I do things like I've done the Toronto Outdoor Art Festival, or like the Dundas Studio Tour, or some other smaller venues. I've done the One of a Kind show now a couple times. That's a really big one. A lot of work doing that one. But I don't tend to do a lot of shows and stuff that takes a lot of time and money. And I already work pretty much full time just to make this all stay afloat. So it's hard to take too much time to do festivals.
Yeah, but those festivals are so great though. I know we've done we did the Pride Festival.
Really
what festival was that again?
That was the Toronto Outdoor. It was my first year at the Toronto Outdoor. I had like total fucking heat stroke and made you come in and sell glass for me on like the second day while I went and died in City Hall in Toronto.
This guy, it was either heat stroke or the booze. I think it was a mix of the both. But really what I did to make him survive was made sure that I got him food and I supplied him another beer to hopefully cure that hangover. I guess I'm not the greatest influence, but that's what we had to do.
Hair of the dog. My dad's always pushed that on me, and it's awful, but it works. Like Buckley's.
Yeah.
Not an ad.
But just a beer in the morning instead.
Yeah, or 2, or 5.
So yeah, I got to sell his glass. I didn't really know what I was talking about. I pretended to be Toby for a really long time.
Okay,
And it was really hard. It was not easy. No one knew what Toby looked like, so I was like,
it ain't easy being sleazy. Let's put it like that, all right?
this guy's watching me on his deathbed, selling his glass as him.
Yeah, my deathbed of plot of grass next to the other homeless guy. My imminent future, as I also like to put it. You know, it's once you just embrace failure, life is so much more enjoyable. You know. So on a much more serious topic, are you going to give me that Bose hat? Mine is seriously covered in sawdust.
Okay, so everyone that's listening, I've got a Bose Brewery hat that everyone at the beer store when we worked together got, and he thinks that I'm gonna give him my Bose hat because he ruined his.
He knows it. It's almost as if he's psychic or something. ESPN, you know.
It's not gonna happen. Anyways, so what's gonna happen right now is we're gonna take a quick break. You know, maybe bathroom break, something like that. I don't know.
Dan's got to poop. Back in 5.
More like 15.
Just for reference.
All right, welcome back. This
Don't
is
breathe into the mic.
this is the first episode back with Toby Moriarty, and I probably still said it wrong, but we're back from break. We went to the LCBO. We picked up some more beers. This guy tried to keep me there for way too goddamn long. He was just like, let me look at all the beers. I was like, I don't even, fangirl over beers like this much. And then, and he's trying to steal the microphone from me.
Moving on. We're now drinking the Tiny Little Wizard by Flying Monkeys. And I'm very entertained that they gave this beer the same nickname that I gave my penis. Just really enjoying the flavors here now.
Well, he's enjoying the flavors of his own penis.
They only share a name, not a flavor. FYI.
I don't know. The way you said it sounded like flavors too. Stop tasting your own flavors. Anyways.
Nobody's going to tell me how to live my own life. All right. Just being real over here. We were going to talk about something. I think it was Terminal, the movie. Not Terminal with Tom Hanks being some foreign guy in an airport. No. That one sucked. But the other one with Margot Robbie and her made-up twin sister who's a stripper that now haunt my dreams.
And by the way, that's a spoiler alert. Yes, there is a twin, and they're just both as hot as each other, and they definitely,
one's a waitress and one's a stripper, and obviously the stripper one is way cooler.
All right, Toby, and the stripper one is way cooler. Apparently, what I liked about the film though wasn't just what's her face, Margot Robbie, whatever her fucking name is. Yeah, she's she's a good looker, but for me it's not about the people that are hot in it. It's more about how the acting is, how the cinematography is. Do I feel right in this film? And I kind of want to talk about Uncut Gems, that Adam Sandler film after this, and kind of compare it to each other, because you know what? I don't know if they came out at relatively the same time. I'm going to look this up.
No, not even close.
When did Terminal come out? Do you know?
At least 2 years ago.
And how do you know this?
Because I watched it at least 2 years ago.
Okay. Well, that's a pretty good argument. I just watched it recently. And it's great. Simon Pegg. You know what? He's one of my favorite actors. He's such a great writer. But in this film, he's a total dirtbag. Like, he's actually a dirtbag. And you don't even expect
He's
that
a
at first.
pedophile. You find out near the end. But
Okay, another
long story
spoiler alert.
short, he's a pedophile.
He's a is it pedophile or pedophile? I think it might be pedophile. I don't know, pedophile. Huh. But yes, that's what he is. I didn't like him. Good actor, great performance, but I hated him because I was supposed to. And I don't know if I can continue to feel this hate towards one of my favorite actors.
You guys can't see this right now, but there's a plushie toy being rubbed against Dan's face the entire time he's talking to you.
It feels great, but it's not really important to the show. I kind of want to discuss about like Margot, whatever her face is, she's in it. She's great. I thought she was really cool, but she was freaking evil. And
her sister too.
Yeah, but I didn't know that until the end. But still, her and her sister, evil. I wanted to save every dude that was in that film. And like, that's not something that you normally say, because you're like, oh, let me save this woman because, you know, guys are usually the douchebags.
Of the pedophile dude. We didn't want to save him.
No, we didn't
Nobody wants to save him.
Thank you.
So save your comments for yourself. Don't put them in the comment section.
Thank you for saving me there, Toby. But yeah, like having him be this terrible person and her being such a terrible person made for me to feel not depressed, but in a state of solitude because of this film, which is in a way a good thing because it made me feel something. It made me want to experience more of these the directors that made this film. Toby,
who was the director?
I fucking forget. I'm gonna look it up right now. So you start talking about this film. Tell me what you think really made it something better than just the Margot girl.
Oh, it's the two hitmen in the hotel room and their whole dynamic. The old guy and the young guy, and they're both hired to do this job, and they both resent each other for thinking that one is keeping an eye on the other and that they are above reproach. And they have this great at each other's throat, but yet like brotherly dynamic. That's what makes most of the movie before you get the drop about the twin sister or Mike Myers' reveal of his character or anything like that. It's really about these two men and their unwilling relationship and the closeness that they develop while still having to distance each other from themselves because they will inevitably know that they will be ordered to kill each other. That's the real tone of the movie, for sure. That and Margot Robbie's really fucking hot.
I agree with everything that you said, and I'm looking up the director right now. His name, I actually haven't heard of this guy. Von Stein, something like that.
Say it as Germanly as you can. You know, really get that Von Stein.
Okay, Von Stein. Anyways, he's directed very few things, mainly just short films. But Terminal seems to be the biggest one on there. Right. He's done a lot of work, but I was very surprised now. Like, you know, for someone with not that big of a portfolio and being able to direct something like this. And I totally agree with you when it was coming to those two hitmen. At first, like, yeah, I knew they were hitman, but like their purpose in it didn't become truly revealed until towards the end. Same thing with Mike Myers. And yeah, Mike Myers in this film, like, surprised me.
You may not even recognize that that's Mike Myers until they reveal his true character later on, right? Who he's introduced as. I've shown a few people this movie, and they don't believe me that he's a character in the movie until this later reveal. So that's a real twist on the whole purpose of it, you know.
I can't even remember my own film terms now.
Yeah, me neither.
The plant and payoff. That's what I'm trying to talk about. The plant and payoff. The plant and payoff was beautiful. But now I kind of want to turn it over to Uncut Gems.
Yeah, I watched that recently. That one I heard a lot about people being outraged about the lack of nominations for Adam Sandler's character, so I decided to watch it on it's on Netflix. I think it's on Netflix. I watched it the other day on when I had the morning off, and it's a really interesting movie. Like, his character that he's playing is somebody that you really, really just can't stand. Like, I just do not like that character as a person, but he is just beautifully portrayed. And you really, over the course of the movie, as you get to know more about him, you empathize with him more and relate to him more and more, which, like, at the beginning, when you see who he is, you just really don't think that could ever happen, you know. And so it just shows you how much in common we really have with everybody around us, and even the people that you can't stand to observe or be around are just as human as you are. And it's like the really interesting part about that movie.
You know what? I agree. No, that's a really good point, because I guess it's a film about addiction. It really is. And like, I have my own addictions. I drink a lot. I smoke weed. I can't get rid of the vape here.
It was all the jerking off.
I'm not going to repeat that. And it's not actually
it's not that much.
It's not actually a movie that I liked, and people are gonna hate me for this. I know it is.
It is a well-made movie.
Yes, I can agree that it's a well-made movie. You've got the cinematography, you've got the direction of the two directors, which is really nice because it's refreshing. You get to have two different sides of it, which probably helped Adam in a way. Like, he probably was confused with a character that had two different directions. Yeah. But two different directions, pulled them together.
Himself and his family, but he's always acting in two different motivations. He's always pursuing his own well-being, but he's always held back by his need to be there for the people in his life.
Yeah, and that's how it brings you into that film. Again, like, it's not a film I like, but it brought you into it. Mm-hmm. And, like, I remember that scene where he's in the closet and the girlfriend is coming home. Yes. And
I often wish that I could reenact that scene. Yeah.
But what did you feel at first when it came to that scene? Like, what did you think in your head? Like, is he waiting for something?
I thought I'd never wanted to be in a closet so much in my entire life. That's okay. What I thought right then.
All fucking jokes aside, what did you think, though, for this film? Because this person is hiding in his girlfriend's closet, but he's not telling her. And she's coming home. He's got the keys, obviously, but, like...
Yeah, no, there's a certain creepiness to that. Like, you know, there's a certain... showing a certain side to his personality there that, like, you know, what exactly did this guy do to get laid before he had this life established? Like, what kind of underhanded and reprehensible actions is this guy willing to take on a regular basis?
Exactly.
Because he's willing to hide in the closet of a girl that he's already guaranteed to have sex with, and all he has to do is show up, and he still wants to take these extra steps to get himself excited and to you know, take advantage of her unwittingness.
But that's an interesting point, because when I was watching it, and maybe it's just because who I am, but when I was watching it, I thought he kind of wanted to see if she was going to show up with someone else. Like, he was hiding in the closet, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm around the corner. Like, I'm gonna bring this back."
I mean,
she's on the phone.
In that case, like, knowing the rest of the movie, like, you're right in hindsight, because he does catch her in the act later on.
Exactly.
Right. And so, I mean, if that is his motivation, from a writing standpoint, it makes total sense, because he comes back up later and in his face, because he thought he was proven wrong, but then he was proven right. To his own detriment.
Yeah. I totally thought she was going to be there with another man and someone that he was going to kill.
Or even better, with another woman.
Honestly,
yeah.
You know what? I wouldn't put it past me, right? Like, she's the character. I think that, yeah, she was pretty open to whatever.
Definitely sexually ambiguous.
But when they get into that fight outside the club.
Yeah, when he catches her about to hook up with the Weeknd.
With Lakeith Stanfield, by the way. Stanfield's my last name. He's such a dope actor. Anyways.
Overrated.
No, he's so cool. Anyways, they get in this fight. And I'm like, guys, this is so dramatic. Like, this seemed like my ex-girlfriend, that I will not say her name, but like, holy smokachinos, dramatic, and
overly so, yeah.
And I almost wanted it to stop, because I felt uncomfortable. But then again, now I'm thinking about it, the director wanted me to feel that. The directors literally made me feel uncomfortable in this film. Again, like, I don't like this film, but
it's well done.
It's well done. And I appreciate everyone that's like on board with it, because I see where they're coming from. But I'm more about, like, Trainspotting. I want to see people go 6 feet under.
That was a good movie. Trainspotting is a fuck classic, absolutely. I still haven't seen Trainspotting 2. I still want to see that.
Well, a funny thing about Trainspotting 2 is it's changed so much since they were originally going to make it.
What's it, like 20 years in between the two movies?
It was 25. They said it in the documentary. 25 years after it
That's
did.
a long time.
I think actually it ended up releasing 26 years after. So, like,
that's pretty crazy.
They were close.
I think we were all pretty sure there was no sequel to Trainspotting.
No,
it had a relatively tidy ending for what that story was. You could have just let it.
But
let it be.
Do you know where it was originated, though? Like, Irvine Welsh. He's the author of the book himself. The Skag Boys is what it's called.
Yeah.
And
a bunch of heroin addicts.
Man, the language, the everything of this film, the book, and it's perfect. He actually plays a part in the first film. He's the drug dealer.
For real?
In the first half an hour that gets him to stick the pills up his ass, because that's all he's got left. Yeah. It's actually
that's how I always sell that movie to anybody I'm telling it about. Like, what do you mean Trainspotting? I'm like, no. You got to see this opening sequence when Buddy is coming down from his heroin bender and can only get a suppository and has to stick it right up his asshole, and then talks you in the narrative through about how he's losing control of his constipation and is about to lose his pills. It is the most disgusting and uncomfortable and absolutely gunning beginning to a movie that you could possibly have, but somehow still just grabs you by the balls and pulls you right on it.
It's so good, especially when he becomes unconstipated.
Yeah.
And he goes into the worst
most
shitter
disgusting
in Scotland.
toilet in all of the UK. Absolutely.
Yeah, Danny Boyle even like freaking captions it himself, and he's like, worst shitter in Scotland or some shit. And he starts climbing into the goddamn toilet, and he's all of a sudden in a dirty
toilet, you will soon change your tune. Yeah.
But then he shows up in a goddamn ocean. He's like fucking swimming through the water, and there's like the landmines that represent like fucking turds or something like that. I don't even know.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's artistically put together at that point in time. Absolutely.
That was what Danny Boyle actually came out with to come to Hollywood. He became a massive icon in Hollywood because of this film, and
it's classic. I mean, you like, if you enjoy film and you enjoy something that is raw and real and about the truth of society and events that, you know, us or our parents have lived through, this is it. This is the truth. This is the heroin crisis that Ireland went through, and it's the heroin crisis that we're going through right now, that all of us have lost friends or family to. You know, everybody's being a part of it in one way or another, and it hits everybody equally, and it's a story that happens over and over and over again through different parts of society, but we're all succumb to the same weakness. And whether it's a movie like shown in a movie that was made 30 years ago that may feel outdated but still has the exact same things that we're all going through today. You know, it's as relevant as it could be.
Wow. That's one of the best ways you could put it. And now, like, even you just saying that about being so relevant about this opioid crisis, it's still here. Now,
it's worse. It's worse probably now than it was then. You know, at least, you know, the drugs were less fatal at that juncture. They're still as devastating to the time and the people as it is now, but at least more than lived through it.
But now it's fentanyl, and
it's much more deadly, and so many people are just being taken away rather than being influenced or something. They're just gone.
Yeah, because I was watching The Pharmacist on Netflix. They said it's 52% more lethal than heroin.
It's an unbelievable number. That's like the deadliest drug on earth, and you just improved its lethality by 52%. It's like staggering.
And people used to get these suckers with fentanyl in it for like old people, and they would get that from the fucking pharmacy. And yes, I understand that it's relieving pain for some people, but doctors are greedy. People are greedy in general. Like, I'm greedy, but I'm not gonna fucking try to.
No, nobody cannot be greedy.
But I'm not gonna
there's
kill
something
somebody
out there that makes everybody greedy. You know, like nobody can be perfect. Like everybody's gonna fold for something.
Man, like, it's killing me. Anyways, okay, we gotta drag ourselves out of this hole for a second.
Okay, so yeah, I'm about done my can of the tiny little wizard. So
we're about done with his penis.
I'm gonna wipe my tears, among other things, and we're gonna crack another can.
And we'll be right back.
We'll be right back with a new can and a new flavor. In case you didn't hear it the first time.
Okay, well, they didn't hear it the first time. So anyways, we're welcome back to this episode. Honestly, like, sometimes I regret not recording everything I say to you, Toby.
Yo, I'm really telling you, it's not anything about what you say to me. Just record everything that I have to say, because it's
important.
Hilarious.
Oh, just shut up. Yeah, for sure. He's hilarious.
Genius.
But we're literally drinking from his glass whiskey glasses. And
I would pronounce it more handmade whiskey glasses, but you go on.
Or whiskey glasses?
Whiskey, if you would.
These are amazing. So we're talking about them. Mm-hmm. And at first he came over and he's like, "Hey man, Like,
Check out my new whiskey glasses, bro. You're gonna love them.
And I was like, yeah, these are just regular whiskey glasses that he brought over, and I was like, cool, man, they're new.
Truth is, there ain't nothing regular about them.
And
there's been a lot of consideration going into my new design.
And then they're not. Halfway through the night, I'm like, wow, these glasses are amazing. Like, why are they so intricate? And he's like, yeah, they're my whiskey glasses. And I was like, oh.
So they're my newest take on a classic design for my glass product line. So we got a nice classic simple white pattern, very chaotic, very individual. Every piece has its own line pattern to it. Could never recreate it twice. And I make a nice small cup, and I actually dip that back into a furnace full of molten glass and get a nice thick layer on the bottom. You can actually feel the point where it connects to the glass, and in a totally unique sort of wavy sort of attachment. Then absolutely original every time. And we get that very heavy, clear optical bottom of a traditional whiskey glass, and a very thin, elegant, crisp top to drink from. And it just really is something I've been thinking about for a long time, to really just hit all those points of a classic, timeless whiskey.
How do you get the lip drink, whatever you call that rim? How do you get it so smooth?
So everything I do is done in the hot shop. I don't do any cutting and polishing of my piece on the drinking lip once it's cold. Everything I do is done hot. I stretch the piece to be real tall, twice as tall as it is when it's finished. And I cut that lip while it's hot, so I get a real crisp level finish. And as I stretch it back out to a wide enough surface to drink from, I get that real thin finish. I get that real crisp, fire polished edge. And it's just all about being made fast and precisely and immaculately.
It's fucking beautiful. I'm literally touching his glass as he's talking about it.
That was glass, not ass.
Yeah, no,
okay?
yeah, glass.
Listen closely, everybody. All right? We turn the mic off when he touches me.
That's actually what our breaks are for. So anyways, I'm just so fucking proud of this guy. This man has actually... You know what? These are glasses not just for right now. They're forever. And you're always going to remember it.
Reinventing the wheel in my point of view. I want to take something that is regular, that we all recognize, we've all used, we've all enjoyed, and I want to make it my own and change it and make it something that you see differently for the rest of your life. And that's the goal that is achieved with my new whiskey glass in absolute certainty.
And that's what he fucking said. All right, this is actually going to be the conclusion to the first episode. Thanks for tuning in. I just want to let you know, please subscribe. We want to keep doing this. I love doing this. This is our first episode, but it's not like we don't have people lined up right now. I've got some filmmakers on the go right now, musicians, actors. Hopefully we can throw in a couple models or something like that, because this shit's interesting. I just want to get to the human psyche of everyone, and talk about film and all that stuff. It was a lot of fun. But our first episode was with Tobias Moriarty, and he didn't get to plug himself at the end. So it was his birthday. We ended up recording the episode before we went out. A great time, obviously. We're cool as shit. But yes, Tobias Moriarty, Blown Glass. His card actually says, distinctly handcrafted to elevate your lifestyle. And I actually like the way he says that, because that handcraftedness is him. It's like every glass that he makes for me, I look at it and I'm like, holy shit, this is his. He uses a lot of color. Recently he's doing the whiskey glasses that is a clear finish with a lot of chaotic white, I don't even know what to call it, like waves, almost like a wave of color. So check out his website. He does special orders too. So he will, like, if you call him, email him, talk to him about prices, whatever. I don't know how it goes down with him. But he'll make you an awesome plate, like a centerpiece for family get-togethers, or if you want to give it as a gift to someone. I know that I actually bought a set of glasses from him for my father, just Father's Day gift. It was a great thing to do. So his website is tobiasmoriarty.com, and that is spelled TOBIASMORIARTY.com. Same thing with his email at gmail.com, and his Instagram. Everyone got his phone number at the beginning of the episode. So yeah, give him a shout. Talk to him. Even if you email him about how cool glassblowing is, and maybe talk to him about getting into one of his classes, he would love that. All right, and that's going to conclude the show. I know at the beginning of the episode I said I didn't have a working title yet. That was a lie. I I just didn't know if it was the right one yet. But now that we're done it, I feel like I can say it. Let's do it. It's Flannel on Flannel with Daniel, and that concludes the episode.